I have come to the conclusion that along with my fellow melanated brothers and sisters, I'm not American. Not in any literal sense. This realization stems from the behavior and conduct projected toward us since our arrival on slave ships and throughout the colonization of what is now identified as the United States. For the Americas broadly to be an American, as these white nationalist colonizers and hate mongers project and suggest, requires European descent. This is your white card. The behavior of these dominant individuals has been evident from the very beginning. The cruel treatment of lynching, the rape of women, men, and children, and the pedophilic climate that has persisted daily in the relationship between so-called blacks and so-called whites. From the plantation fields down to the shacks where we were housed, considered too. The laws specifically made for so-called blacks, not African Americans, not Negroes, but so-called blacks. Prisoners of war. None of these laws were identified or projected towards so-called Americans. Caucasian, European, white Americans. There's a line of people who possess this great desire, this fantasy, to be accepted by the uncivilized, primitive, cave-dwelling mentality of the European, Caucasian, so-called whites. Now, before I continue, I am not speaking about all so-called whites, for some have reason and thought beyond the indoctrination of their forefathers. Those who have poisoned the minds of those still operating on that mindset. They claim this land to this day. They claim it in the sense that they declare the natives who were here have no say. This is white America. And if you do not like what they are saying, you can leave. If you do not like the policies here, painting my will the wall. We so-called blacks, prisoners of war, are imprisoned here. We cannot leave this place if we wanted to. The best you could do is acquire significant wealth, closer caution, and relocate to another country. But even there, check the records. You still must pay taxes in America. There's a contract they hold over our heads, our birth certificates and social security numbers, that makes us prisoners to the most criminal enterprise on the planet, the most corrupt government operation on the planet, with the greatest conspiracy against so-called melanated people. From cultural conspiracy to religious conspiracy to outright division, all created by the devils who run this country today, operating from the playbook of their forefathers. So-called black man, so-called black woman, do not consider yourself an American. I know there are some Uncle Rookuses and Aunt Thomasinas who cannot wrap their minds around what I am presenting. But the truth is the truth. You were never identified as American. And you never will be accepted as American as long as this current ideology remains in operation with its intentional goal.